Hello, hello. Welcome back to another video.
Hello.
My name is Gemma and I am here today with my co-host. She's that way.
Yeah,
Emily at No More Novels, and we are going to be talking about Katherine Howard, the Tainted Queen. The Scandalous Queen has got two titles, I think.
I've got the Tainted Queen.
From Alison Ware's Six Tudor Queens series, and this is the 5th book and wife. And we're going to be talking about it today. So let's have a little chat about what our overall thoughts were. So you've obviously read these before, so interested to see what your thoughts are as a reread, what you thought of this one.
I actually I think I read more about it this time. I got more out of it, but she is not my favourite queen. She's probably the one I think, you little floozy, but then do we judge her because of her age? She's the one where I'm most conflicted on.
Yeah.
Whereas Anne Boleyn, you knew she was a manipulative BBB, and I know that's controversial, but Anne Boleyn did a lot of her own fate. Katherine Howard had the same fate at the end, but how much was she manipulated? I'm very, very mixed on her. I really am completely utterly mixed.
But Katherine Howard was potentially guilty of her crimes.
Yeah, she was very guilty. Like I said, a lot of things. She did everything that she got killed for.
Yeah.
But
yeah. I mean, I really enjoyed it. I think Katherine Howard, I think, was a really interesting character to read. Like you say, because there's all these different factors involved, and we'll talk about a few of them as we go through. But she was really interesting to read. I found it quite compelling. I wanted to keep going and see what kind of trouble she got into next, while like mentally screaming at the book, "What are you doing?"
Exactly. She was an exciting read. If you compare her to obviously Anna of Cleves, she was way more exciting and way more. It was like a scandal. It was like reading a soap opera, really, wasn't it? Like if you think about it.
But she was an unlikable character, I think.
Yeah.
Alice is here.
Oh, hi, Alice.
Didn't read the book.
Oh, at least she's supporting us.
Oh dear.
I think she might have liked that more because it was a bit more soap opera. No, but then Alice doesn't like soap opera, so maybe not.
Yeah, I think Alice is just maxed on Tudors.
I think we killed her off with the first 4, didn't we?
Yeah. So yeah, because I mean I liked probably Anna of Clayton more than I liked this one, and Alice didn't really. She didn't dislike it, but she didn't really like it.
No, she didn't like it that much.
So,
see, I'm just a bit sort of torn. Yeah, she's probably the one that makes me like scream at her for so many things. But she was so young, and I don't know how much to consider that.
But it made for a good story, I think.
Definitely. I'll be honest, I've already started the next one, so you know I would.
How much do you think her upbringing played in her behaviour? Because obviously she lost her mother early on, and then her dad basically just sodded off, and she was raised by her.
Her father died at the early. Yeah, you got it. Didn't her father die? No, her father. No, her mum. No,
her father died later, didn't he?
Yeah, her father died. Yeah, her mum died very early. I'm sorry, I'm stupid.
I think her mother died in childbirth, didn't she?
Yes, she died in childbirth, but that was very common. I think that happened on like a lot of the queens.
Yeah,
like mums and stuff. But yeah, Katherine. I definitely think Catherine's past. Like her father was a complete bastard. Like he shoved her off to here, there, and everywhere, didn't he?
He did. He was not father of the year, but at the same time, I think that he was probably quite representative of fathers of the time.
Oh god, yeah, definitely at the time.
He didn't know what to do raising a like prepubescent teen at the time.
And she had loads of sort of half brothers and sisters, didn't she?
Yeah. So I think he probably thought he was making the best decision to move her into. Was it her great aunt's house?
Yeah, sort of more of a distant relative. Yeah.
And obviously that wasn't a great decision.
If she could have probably gone off with one of her half sisters, she probably would have had a better upbringing, in my opinion. But that
Yeah,
wasn't
her older
really
sister
good for her.
seemed to be reasonably sensible.
Yes, definitely.
Cheerleader of this read along, but I can't read
Oh,
anymore for a long time.
oh,
Did enjoy Anna of Khalifa, but as a person, but it just seemed so made up.
yeah.
It was the
Yeah, it
best
was
audio.
made
It
up.
was a good audio.
Anna Cleaver was the most made up out of all of them, but then that was because there wasn't much of a storyline to go with her.
But I don't mind that so much because it's historical fiction. I think that the thing that set that one apart was probably that she'd stuck quite closely to history for the rest of the series. If she'd gone a bit off on tangents with the other three,
and she still sticks to higher. She still sticks to and the last one she's more fiction, she's more non-fiction. I think with Catherine Parr she'll be more fiction. So it literally is only the Anna Cleaver was fiction based, really, I think.
Yeah. Oh, I love Flick. Thanks for joining.
Yeah, we love her so much. Hi, Jack.
Oh, and Jack. Read the book a couple of years ago. I really enjoyed it. Yeah.
Enjoyed it. Oh, brilliant! It is a
Hi,
good book.
Charlie's here too.
Hi, Charlie. She did say she'd pop in and say hello to us.
So yeah, I mean, I did enjoy it, but she was an unlikable character. She definitely was an unlikable character. So obviously, when she was staying with the Duchess, she got into her first relationship.
Oh God!
Was this the first one? Was Francis her first, or was Harry her first? I can't
remember. I don't know. Francis or Harry. Shall I have a look at the book, or have you got
Francis? I think was first. Was he the? He was the musician, wasn't he?
Yeah. Francis was the one that.
And then Harry came along, and he was
Yes. I'm trying to look, but I can't think. I don't know where to look. You know what I mean? I should have put them in tabs in. One of these days, I'm going to remember to. Charlie does this. She actually puts tabs in her books.
Yeah, I did write a couple of notes, but they weren't very good. Oh no, Harry was the musician. Francis was her cousin. So Harry was the musician. Her first foray into sexual activities.
She was a little floozy at that age. I'm sorry.
Well, I think he did lead her a little bit at that time. And she'd been exposed to quite a lot of that kind of behaviour at the Duchess's house. So I don't blame her so much for that one. But obviously she fell out of love with him quite quickly after sort of their relationship was exposed. And he didn't take too kindly to that, did he?
And he didn't get the very good ending either, did he?
I don't think many of them got a good ending.
Oh,
but I thought his reaction was quite extreme, really.
Oh God, yeah, he was very, very
quite controlling. I think he thought he was going to get in with someone who was socially higher up than him, and then obviously that went to hell in a handcart, and she quickly moved on to the next one, Henry.
Yes.
Harry. Francis.
Why are we not remembering? We're doing really well tonight, aren't we?
We're doing well. So she moved on to Francis, who was the cousin with the dubious lineage, because he was disinherited, wasn't he?
Yes, he was disinherited. I think, what was the scene? The scene where she loses it, when she loses her flower. And you're like, how can you be so daft to not... she was...
Yeah.
It's not believable.
She seemed to fall in love and out of love very quickly.
Oh God, yeah, very tempestuous, very, very.
And I know, like you said at the beginning, I know she was young, but I don't know, it didn't feel super believable to me.
How much did she use her looks to get what she wanted?
Oh, she absolutely did. But I don't think Alison Ware really conveyed that very well. Because she made us think that Catherine loved these men, but I don't think she ever really did. I think she lusted after them, but I don't think she really loved them. Because if she did, she would have fallen out of love so quickly.
Do you think she ever really did actually fall in love with any of them? I think to me, it was towards the end she loved that her lot. You know, the one that yeah. I think he was the only one in it that she really truly loved. Tom Culpepper, wasn't it?
Yeah, but again, I don't know. Given another 6 months, whether she'd have gone off him as well. Do you know what I mean? I think she wanted what she couldn't have, and then when she had it, she didn't want it anymore.
Oh God, yeah. Like there's no way she loved Henry.
No. Well, I think that was quite well discussed in the book. I don't think she ever really liked him. Hi Kelly.
Oh, she's here to support us. Oh, thank you.
Oh, I love the support.
Oh, we love you.
We are indeed busy bees. It has been a busy day.
It's been very busy. Me and Jem, I don't think we've stopped either of us all day.
No.
And are you crashing tomorrow, and I'm crashing on Monday, isn't it?
Oh no, I'm at a karate competition all day tomorrow.
Okay, so Monday we'll both crash.
No, I'm working on Monday, so maybe next Saturday I'll have time to crash.
I think I'm crashing next Saturday. Yeah, because Chris is out all day, so I might be having Charlie's little one, Charlie's youngest, for some of the day.
Nice.
But anyway, what we're saying. Do you think she truly loved Tom? Yes, I think I personally, for me, the way she reacted when she found out Tom's fate at the end, to me that was the most convincing. Like, she wasn't particularly fussed when she found out how any of the others got their ending, but Tom, she was excited about. That's just my opinion. Maybe that's the romance side of me. Yeah,
I think you're probably right. She was quite concerned about him at the end, and I think she did try and protect him.
I think she was probably the only one she closely loved. If love was anything she could ever feel, Tom was probably the one she felt the most for, I believe.
I mean, do you think it was Francis that landed her in it in the end?
Yes. He was just a complete bump off.
He was.
They all dropped the boat. I'm sorry, apart from Tom, they all betrayed her.
They did, but I mean, even that seems a bit ridiculous to me because they basically hung themselves. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, why betray her if you knew that you're going to end up getting your heads chopped off anyway? And they didn't even all of them get that. Some of them got worse deaths than that, didn't they?
They did. I think Tom got a pretty gruesome death, didn't he?
Yeah.
Was he like hung and quartered? I can't really remember.
A bit gruesome, to be honest.
Mm.
Henry lust. No.
You think Henry lusted after Katherine?
Yeah, not real love. No, it was not real love. It was pure love.
I'm not even sure. I mean, I think he had sexual attraction to her, but I do think it was purely about getting an heir.
Oh God, yeah. He was I think I personally, out of all the books, she was again the young pretty folly who he fancied, so he thought he'd get his end up, because he couldn't get his end away with Anna of Cleves, could he? So he couldn't.
No, and I think he maybe thought she was going to be more like Jane.
Yeah.
I think he thought, a young, innocent maiden who I can sort of control to a degree. And obviously she wasn't like that at all.
It's a floozy.
So I think he probably saw aspects of Jane in her, but I think the driving factor was trying to get a male heir.
Yeah, trying to get
another male heir, I should say.
Yes,
another male
exactly.
Heir.
And she thought that her age, she was pretty, he could get what he wanted, he could get the end of it. And he was attracted to her. There's no way, because obviously if he wouldn't have been attracted to her, he wouldn't have been able to do the deed, as it was proven with Anne of Cleves, wasn't it? He couldn't. He couldn't then. So I think looking at it that way,
yeah.
But I think it was pure lust. He didn't have real love feelings because he didn't really know her, did he? It was very.
No, and I don't think he really had an interest in knowing her for those reasons. I think
they didn't have interesting chats or anything like that. He was all about giving her the gems and the jewels and all the money, and
no,
he wasn't at all interested.
She wasn't super educated, really, was she?
No, she wasn't. She wasn't at all.
It was inferred in the book that she was possibly dyslexic because she couldn't read very well, and she the letters were jumbled, and I don't know how much of that was true. But she was definitely a lot less educated than his first two wives, for sure. Yeah. But yeah, she she was an interesting choice. I think he thought he was making a safe choice and that she would follow him round like a puppy. But no.
No, but I think she was definitely manipulated also by her uncle.
Well, yeah, she was sort of forced into it, wasn't she?
Yes.
Because she had no interest in Henry whatsoever. She was interested
It was
in...
an old fart in her eyes. By then, he was definitely old and
Well,
not exactly
in most people's eyes, to be fair, you know, I can sympathise with her on that one. But then, as soon as she realised what would come with a marriage to Henry, she kind of did get on board.
But surely she should have known of what happened to her cousin. Anne Boleyn was her cousin.
Yeah.
Surely she should have had some impetus up there.
So I wonder if actually maybe she was more manipulated than the book put across.
Possibly, yeah.
Because it did sort of suggest that she wanted that.
I really want to read more about her.
Queen. So, and maybe he just assumed she was a virgin because she was
yeah, exactly.
I think so. The Duchess, her great aunt, swore, didn't she, that she was untouched.
But they had to swear, like, didn't they? They couldn't exactly say, "Oh yeah, I'm sorry, she's a bit of a slut."
Yeah, and technically they didn't know how much of a floozy she was.
But surely a Duchess lived with her. She's got to have had some idea. She was chosen as virgin by the courtiers, from what I remember of history. Yeah, I think I'm definitely. I've got my non-fiction book to read on Alison Weir's non-fiction book to read on the Queen, on the Queens as well. So I'm looking forward to reading that and getting back to you guys and seeing how the non-fiction portrays against these books, because it would be interesting to find out a bit more, I think, about her, because we've got a lot of non-fiction about a lot of the earlier queens, but not so much non-fiction about the latter ones. So that's kind of where it would be quite interesting, I think.
Yeah. But do you think Alison Weir made a creative choice to make her come across as not innocent and complicit in the deception of Henry? And I'm not sure how old was she in this? Like 16, 17?
By the time she died, she was less than 18, I think. She wasn't old at all.
How complicit could she really have been at that age?
But then you look at how very much more mature they were expected of that in that time. You know, back in those days, you were expected to get your leg over at the age of like 13, 14.
Yeah.
As a parent, how would we feel? How would you have felt about your stepdaughter? How would I have felt about Mia going in that position at that age? It wouldn't be something we'd even consider.
This is true, but then she also was raised away from the court. She hadn't been exposed to that level of politics and stuff. So I don't know how good she really would have been at the manipulation thing.
Yeah, I think
she's sort of left to go feral at the Duchess's estate.
That to me is what she is. I think she's more feral. I don't think she's necessarily innocent. But then, like I said, growing up without a mum in yourself, that is our job as parents, is to guide our children. And had her mum been there, would her mum have let her do any of that? We don't know, because it wasn't a choice that was available.
Yeah.
She didn't have a strong female upbringing, which is obviously one of the points we set up at the start, is that she didn't have a strong female upbringing. She wasn't close to she didn't have her siblings around her older sisters. And when her older sisters came into the part later on, they were like, "You're being daft here." One of them says to her, "You know, you're not exactly behaving right." Not in that terminology, but you know what I mean.
Yeah. And she was exposed to a lot of bad behaviour from the court that she was living with. So she was almost like numbed to it, like that was normal behaviour.
Yeah, definitely.
It wasn't. Or it would have been for some of that time, but not for a lady of her class, I suppose.
Yeah, exactly.
So yes, an interesting one.
She's definitely the one that gets you more thinking, how much was that? Because a lot of, like we say, with the earlier queens, you can see right for wrong. You know what I mean? Like with Catherine of Aragon, we knew she didn't deserve any of her fate. Anne Boleyn, most of us agreed on the fact that she was manipulative herself. That was who she was. You know what I mean? There was a little bit of
one person's manipulative is another person's ambitious. I think she was
exactly.
ambitious.
But that was the thing. She could have been ambitious. That's fair enough. Again, but she wasn't innocent. You know what I mean? Jane Seymour was very innocent. Did she? You know, she was hit. She loved Henry and he loved her, and that was very sweet. How that would have gone if she would have lived, we don't know. Anna of Cleves, again, not known very much about. But and then obviously it'll be interesting to see how we feel about the last queen. Certainly how you guys feel about it. How that again, it's but and because of her age, how much can we judge? How much can we know? It's just very much of a mixed bag. I think that's my opinion. Sorry, I get very like emotional about this.
She is a tricky one because it is how history portrays her. We will never really know whether she slept with all these men or not. Alison Ware has chosen to go down that route, but was that really the case? Who knows?
Definitely something we want to look into.
Or was it the court trying to get another queen off the throne? So
the Tudor history in itself is very interesting.
It is really interesting. I'm glad.
What were Jane's motivations?
So what were Jane's motivations in pushing Catherine and Tom together? Because she was the one, obviously, after the marriage, that kept organising these rendezvous for Catherine and Tom. And to Catherine's credit, in this book, she said no for quite a while.
She really did, yeah. To me, Jane Rochford was the biggest BIT. She was the biggest rude word out of the whole. In my opinion, in the Tudor court, she is one of the most evil, manipulative characters in the Tudor court.
But why was she doing it? That's what I never really understood, because she didn't seem to have an issue with Tom. She wasn't a massive fan of Catherine, I don't think. But
how much do you think she blames Catherine? She is taking what happened to her history with Anne Boleyn's brother George, you know, her husband. We all know that George was there's very many interesting ways we could have looked at the George issue, but how George treated Jane, do you think that because Catherine was George's cousin and Anne Boleyn's cousin, do you think that she could have sort of reflected her anger onto
possibly
Catherine?
I hadn't really thought about that angle, but I think you could be right, because it seemed really sort of bizarre for her to want to do that. She was playing with fire.
Oh gotcha, but you read what she was saying about what her marriage with George was like. She openly told Catherine that George made her participate in buggery, basically. And putting it like, that's probably the politest way of putting it, but she slated George to Catherine so many times.
Yeah.
She openly said she didn't have a happy marriage. Her marriage was wrong. In every book you read about Jane Rochford's marriage to her husband, they did not get on. It was like the worst marriage in history. Bloody hell, you know?
Yeah. I think you could be right there, mate. I think you could be right.
Yeah, I'm right. I wonder if
Jack's saying, I wonder how innocent Jane Seymour would have been portrayed if she hadn't had a son and not died.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, we don't know. Yeah,
I agree. Exactly. I think, she's painted with this sort of angelic brush, so to speak, because she produced the first male heir, and she only was married to him for what? About a year, was it?
Yeah, exactly. But you did also see, I think when we read the Jane Seymour book, we discussed this. She did have a bit of a naughty side to her, because when her brother's wife got separated from her children, she was part of that. She was part of getting her brother's wife sent away from her children. She was part about separating them. She was part of that, blaming her for the affair rather than blaming Jane's dad. She wasn't as sweet and as innocent as everyone made out. She didn't
but she was also the one that made the effort to make sure that the kids saw their mother.
Yes, she did at the end, but I think she felt guilty. Because to me, there was that bad sign in her. I don't think she was as sweet as innocent as she was portrayed.
Yeah, I'm not sure anyone's really that sweet and innocent.
No,
I don't know. Maybe I'm just a really cynical person. Did Jane take Anne off Henry?
Yes. In my opinion,
yes. But I think the wheels were turning on Anne before Jane was on the scene.
Definitely.
I think they happened in parallel, but I don't think it was a takeover quite in the same way that it was with Anne and Katherine.
No, I don't think Jane was evil. I don't think Jane was at that horrible side. Jane did not like Anne for the way Anne had stolen Henry from Katherine of Aragon, because Jane was very much Catherine's, like, she idolised Katherine. She loved Katherine. She wouldn't have wanted to be the one that stole. She didn't have that horrible. I don't think she was evil at all. But this is what we're saying is, do we think that Jane Rochford had sort of done it right?
He started saying, yeah, he did.
Yeah, he did. He definitely did.
Yeah.
Because.
Yeah.
I think it's all very interesting, how they all interlink and how it all kind of like flows. But my opinion is with Jane Rochford and how Jane had manipulated Tom Culpepper, she could have been deflecting her anger onto Katherine. Because a lot of the manipulation, she was really putting it in place. She was trying to stitch up Katherine big time. She got beheaded in the end herself, so tough luck. She got what coming to her in the end.
Well, I mean, how did she not see that coming? Yeah. I mean, she's literally putting the king's wife in bed with another man. Did she not think that
she was the one that set that up?
End badly?
I know, you're like, you daft David.
Unless she thought that Henry was going to die before anyone found out, and then she would, I don't know,
sneak away under the cobweb.
Catherine's gratitude.
Henry a few times got quite poorly, didn't he?
Yeah, his leg was really starting to play up in this one, wasn't it?
Yeah, you could definitely see he was on the decline.
Yeah, but then the other thing is, obviously, Henry died of syphilis, didn't he? Which can cause you to go a little bit
doolally.
He's not the right word, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
So how much of this Henry's imagination that maybe has then been written into history?
But surely wasn't syphilis touching? It's transmitted.
Yeah, sexually transmitted.
And they obviously didn't use protection then.
No, but so syphilis can stay in the latent phase, in second phase, for like years and years and years, and then it will switch into like the tertiary phase. So none of his wives really lived long enough to suffer from the later stages of syphilis.
Because they all
did. So
Catherine Parr died after him, but not that far after him, I don't think.
No, so she probably wouldn't have experienced like the bigger symptoms.
Because it is all quite interesting how it all like he did get quite poorly and how he couldn't end up having kids and stuff. So my camera's open.
In the TV show, she loses her mind once she's arrested. Catherine does.
Yeah, she does.
Yeah, she did in the book. Yeah. To be fair to her, who wouldn't?
She knew
17 years old and like having realised that actually the things that you do have consequences, and those consequences can be your own head.
She wasn't daft. She knew what was coming. She knew that she wasn't going to make it through this one. She'd been accused of too many things, and she'd known what happened to Anne. So I
don't know. I think she still believed for a long time that Henry was going to let her off.
How daft is that? Like,
Jane Rochford. Yeah, we didn't really see Jane after her arrest because it was from Catherine's perspective.
Yeah. Jane Rochford went crazy. Yeah, we'd heard. I didn't know about that actually.
Yeah, it wasn't really covered in this book, But yeah, I think she
Know
was.
that.
I think she was a sandwich short of a picnic before she got arrested. So,
Who knows if she would have got it? Oh, God knows what was going on back then.
mm. So do you think that Katherine ultimately deserved her fate?
Yes. Sorry.
Emily! You're so mean!
I have a mean side to me occasionally.
I
Occasionally.
don't know. I think she deserved to be punished. I think beheading was maybe a little bit extreme.
Possibly, but come off it. She knew what was going on. She knew what her cousin had been. I'm not daft. Like, no matter. Like, Anne Boleyn got her head chopped off because she was accused of cheating. She'd done exactly the same thing. You know, but she did it knowing that this had happened. So yeah, you're a daft apath here.
See,
Oh,
Flick agrees with me. I don't think she deserved to have a
I
head.
just think she was too daft. I'm sorry. Like,
I think
no
she
one
was
deserves to
dumb.
die. Don't get me
I
wrong.
think
And
that was
her
an
age.
extreme reaction. I think he should have just put her out to pasture and learnt from his mistakes. None of these women deserve to lose their heads. Agreed.
But no, possibly not their head. That's possibly I'm being extreme. But she did deserve to get punished. She did know what had happened to her predecessors. She was stupid. She knew what she was doing. She knew that if you get your leg over with someone else that's not your husband, you're going to get told off big time.
I don't think she was old enough to understand the consequences of her actions.
But yeah, it's very interesting.
I send her to a nunnery. Yes, yeah, I think that would have been, yeah.
Nunnery might have been the safest place for her, to be honest.
Though the other side of the coin is, I do think probably she deserved punishment more than Anne did. I think.
Oh God, yeah. I'm sorry, she did.
The crimes.
This is the one
Anne maybe did, maybe didn't, but it's less clear with Anne whether she actually committed adultery.
And Anne had a child, and I'm sorry, the mum in me, no matter what I think of Anne Boleyn, and you know I'm not Anne Boleyn's biggest fan, Anne Boleyn had a child. She tried to have more kids. She was a stupid beggar, but there was no definite evidence with Anne that she had cheated. And I don't think she did, in my opinion. I think she was manipulative in a lot of other ways, but I don't, in my honesty, feel that Anne did deserve her fate.
Yeah.
Sorry. Whereas
Henry had his leg over with many women. I know he was the king, but still, yeah, it's a good point. Point. It was a completely different playing field for men and women.
And how could he go with someone that was young enough to be his daughter? She was the same age. She was the same age as Mary, if not younger than Mary, wasn't she?
I think she was younger than Mary.
That's what I mean. Like, how could you get your leg over with someone that's up? You know.
Well, people still do it now, Ems.
I know. I know Chris is younger than me, but for crying out loud, there's certain extremes. You know what I mean?
No, there is, and it does show the times. One clear bad element here, yes, the one with the penis. Yeah, she was younger than Mary.
Yeah, I thought so.
Older than Elizabeth, though, I think.
Yeah, but Elizabeth was quite young back then, so that would have been a bit dodgy if he would have gone for someone Elizabeth's age.
Well, I wouldn't put it past him, to be fair.
He was a right little God. But then he got again. He was another one that got what's coming for him. It was syphilis, wasn't he? And his heirs didn't even make it. He was the last of the Tudor line, effectively. If you think Edward didn't really last long enough.
No.
And Elizabeth, she was last of the male. Elizabeth lasted a very long time.
Mm-hmm. But didn't have any heirs. Oh, I've lost Emily. It might be Mia on the phone. Was Mia on the phone again?
Yeah. My child's going to have her phone disconnected shortly.
But yeah, no, I don't think any of these women really deserved what happened to them.
No.
But she, I think Katherine was probably the one that walked the line the most.
There's a line, and then there's like.
She probably deserved a divorce. for her actions in this book. Whether that was the actions that she actually committed in history is another debate. But if she was doing the things she did in this book, then yeah, that's just cause for a divorce. I don't think even the Pope of Rome would have disagreed with Henry on that one, to be fair. So
I wonder what we're going to think of the last in the series, because we're heading up to the last one.
I know, it's been nearly a year, can you believe it?
God, yeah, people have come, people have gone.
Yeah. Just a few diehards left at the end. But
the waffle ones, isn't it? Waffle and Flick.
yeah, Flick has done well, bless her.
Yeah, she's done well, and obviously the waffle
Yeah.
had stuck by us through thick and thin. There was 3 hosts at the start, 2 to the end. we have kind of gone a bit rogue on the old. I don't know. I don't go on the old doodah anymore. That chat so much anymore. It was a boxer.
No. But we've got one left. We've got Katherine Parr left to go.
I wonder who's going to be reading it with us
in March and April. And then the last live will be on your channel, Em.
I know, it's going to be at the end of it'll be start of May, won't it then?
Yes, yeah.
Because you're going to need April to probably read it the way you're going.
Yeah, I'm not convinced that I'll get it read in March.
Thanks, Jack.
We're getting there. We're getting there.
I've decided that I'm in a bit of a Tudor. I'm not really reading many Tudor books at the moment alongside the thingy, but I've got a non-fiction book about Alison Weir's Queens I'm going to be setting up for May. Or no, I think I'll do it in June, because obviously May I've got my other readathon and you've got your readathon that I'm kind of saving a couple of books for. So I think I'm going to read the non-fiction book in June, and I've got a couple of other books that are coming out. So I've got the next Tudor series that I'm going to go on to, but I won't start that straight away. I've got, that she's got the new one that Danny bought.
Yeah. To be honest, I think once I've finished Katherine Parr, I need a break.
Yeah, I'm not going to read it straight away. I know that I'm getting
a while.
I'm getting it for my mum in paperback, the first one, because I want it in paperback and I want to look at it because it looks gorgeous. But because the second's only just coming out in hardback, I'm probably not going to rush as much. I might wait until towards the end of the year. So yes, I'll get it for my birthday present, but I may not read it straight away. And
there is one coming out on Henry, isn't there?
Yeah, that's what I mean. That's the one that's coming out in June, I think, in hardback.
Yeah.
But I don't buy hardback.
Yeah.
So I'll have to wait another year.
Oh, Flick, yes, you can rejoin the Voxer, mate.
Which class are you on, darling?
Are you Flick Reads on Voxer?
I think she is.
Let me see if I can find you.
See if you're doing.
Okay, let's see.
I
need to do it now, because otherwise I'll say, yeah, I'll do that later, and then I'll forget all about it.
Yeah, especially the way we're going today, aren't we? This one won't be a long chat, thank goodness, because I think me and you are both absolutely shattered, aren't we? Like I said, I've got work tomorrow. God. Is it wrong that I'm literally counting down? I'm going to count down the hours tomorrow because I've got a week and a half off. Is it wrong that I'm literally going to be doing that?
I would be doing the same, mate. I would be doing the same.
I'm literally counting the hours, minutes, and seconds. Poor. I don't envy my team tomorrow. I'm going to be a nightmare.
Flick, where are you?
Have you asked Flick?
No, I can't find her. I don't know who I am, lol. On Gemma's Books, just send me a message so that I've got your Voxer handle, and then I'll add you.
Yeah, we both had one hell of a day. Just see Jack supporting us, Gem. Me and you just have not stopped.
I know.
But we've done it. We're nearly on the end of Katherine Parr. I think I just started Katherine Parr the other day, but it's another book that's not that long. I think it's 500-600 pages. It's not that long.
Oh yeah.
Not that long for me. You know what I mean? Bear in mind, I'm reading Martin Chuzzlewit at the moment. That's nearly 1,000 pages over 2 months, and I didn't realise. So I've now got to catch up a little bit. I'm killing myself off, girl. Literally. But I think Katherine Parr is going to be I think Catherine Parr, it will be interesting to see the last Queen. I think we're going to, and I think with Catherine Parr, we actually have a bit after Henry dies.
Yeah, well, we did with Anna of Clayford, didn't we? And I quite liked that bit afterwards.
Yeah.
To be fair, it's making me kind of want to pick up some Elizabethan stuff.
Yeah, I would quite like to actually.
But yeah, just because I feel like I feel tutored out, but I would quite like to learn a bit more about Mary and Elizabeth.
From what I remember, the one that's the next series, the one that I'm getting for my birthday, isn't that Henry's mum? I think.
Who?
So that's pre-Henry almost.
Which one?
Elizabeth of York is Henry's mum, and that I'm pretty sure it's Henry's mum, the one that I'm getting.
I thought Margaret Beaufort was Henry's. No, that's his grandmother, isn't it?
That's Henry's grandmother, yeah. Elizabeth of York, I'm pretty sure is Henry's mum, and she's not someone that's written about very much. So that's what's exciting me, that it's not just Tudor, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I think that's the White Queen in Philippa Gregory's.
Yes,
isn't it?
Exactly.
Yeah.
We're doing a week.
A week. Yeah.
Oh, I think she might be on Thanks Split. Yeah. So that might be a different Tudor, but I'm definitely done on the actual Tudor books at the moment for that. Once I've done Catherine Parr, I'm certainly going to have a month or two break.
Yeah, I do enjoy them, but I just feel like reading them almost back to back because of the way that these are written, they overlap quite a lot. So I feel like I needed a bigger break between them.
Yes, possibly. I definitely think this is something we tackled, and it was a good way to tackle it.
You don't know until you try, do you? But
I definitely think, considering me and you are hosting the next read along, that's going to be a lot more fun, and that'll be different doing that month to month to month.
Yeah.
Completely different.
It will be.
But there, at least we've got something fun to look forward to in the summer, haven't we? Not that we're giving them a sneaky peek of what's.
And I know that I like those books. So.
I know I like them too. I can't wait. I'm actually seriously excited about summer. So we only actually don't we actually only have 1 month break where when me and you are not hosting a read along together until September?
I think Jack went to say boop boop book the like button.
Yeah, me and you only have 1 month break where we're not doing a read along together.
I know. And then I need a break from read alongs for like a year.
Yeah, I think next year I'm not doing read alongs.
Yeah, they're quite a lot of commitment, aren't they?
Yeah, I think we're just going to take a break. This is why I've only done 2 this year, whereas last year I did about 3 or 4, didn't I?
Yeah, it's a lot.
This is why I'm taking it easy. We're just going to take a break, but we've done it. We're nearly at the end now, guys. Last one will be on my channel at the start of May, all being well, if Jen finishes the book.
I have finished on time every single time.
This time. You're better than your body reads, actually. You've done really well on this.
Oh, yeah, buddy reads, and yeah, no.
Buddy reads and you were a bit of a dodgy, but the read along, you've done really well. You actually beat me on one of the last.
Because I know there's going to be a live show with the buddy read. There's not a live show. I can just catch up with you in 3 months' time.
Yeah, did you do that with our one buddy read?
I do. And I finished it on the floss, pretty much on time.
Yeah. Oh, but yeah, I think we're I think you beat me on the actual last one, so you did really well. So let's be honest, let's enjoy it. And are we ready to say goodbye to everyone?
Know the date for the Catherine Parr closer to the time.
Yes, definitely, and we'll announce it, and hopefully we'll publicise it a bit more because it'll be a bit more of a party because it'll be the end of the whole series, and we'll be able to. And we'll do it not on a day where we're killing ourselves.
Exactly. But thank you everyone who came along and supported. Yeah. We very much appreciate you all. And we'll see you in a couple of months for the last one.
See you everyone. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.